Up to now, something remained. Not thought, not dialogue, not identity, but silence. A subtle sense of quiet awareness behind life. Part 12 begins when even that dissolves. Not into noise, not into chaos, but into something almost impossible to describe, life without a reference point. Why silence is still a position. Silence feels holy, pure, safe, but silence can still be experienced. And anything experienced still implies. An experiencer and experienced Joel hinted at this carefully. He warned that even spiritual stillness can become a resting place for identity. At this depth, truth no longer rests anywhere. The shift from awareness to source earlier stages feel like, I am aware of life. Later, there is only life. Now, even that language collapses. There is no background, no foreground, no awareness behind events. Only source appearing as everything, not watching, not witnessing, not being aware of, just being what is happening. What invisible source means the source is never seen, because it is what sees, what hears, what moves, what speaks. You cannot observe it. The moment you try, you step back into separation. Joel taught that the source is not something you contact. It is what you stop standing apart from. Real life, when there is nitrogen monoxide interlocation, a man noticed something disorienting. He could no longer locate himself inside. No center in the head, no witness behind the eyes, no observer behind experience. Yet life was perfectly functional, more than functional, fluid. This frightened the mind briefly, then it relaxed. Because nothing was actually missing. Why the mind feels unnecessary here, the mind still works. It calculates, remembers, responds when needed. But it no longer narrates existence. It no longer asks, where am I? What state am I in? Those questions require distance. Distance is gone. Life without a spiritual position at this stage, even spirituality ends. You do not feel spiritual. You do not feel awakened. You do not feel realized. You feel ordinary, not dull, not flat, but unremarkable in the deepest way. Joel said truth feels ordinary because it is not contrasting itself with anything. Real life, nothing to return to. A woman noticed she stopped coming back to anything. No returning to presence. No returning to awareness. No grounding practice. Because there was nowhere to return to. Life was already whole. Action without a source claim. Earlier stages saw. Action without a doer. Now, action without even a sense of origin. Movement happens. Speech happens. Decisions happen. But nothing claims, this came from me. This came from awareness. Source does not label itself. Relationships without subject and object. You no longer meet people as others, but not because you believe in unity, because division is absent. Conversation happens. Listening happens. Connection happens. But there is no someone relating to someone, only interaction. This creates a deep gentleness. Real life, compassion without a compassionate self. A man noticed compassion flowing naturally, not because he tried, not because he practiced empathy, but because there was no separation left to protect. Helping happened when appropriate. Silence happened when needed. No guilt, no savior identity. Why nothing needs to be healed here. Healing belongs to identity. It assumes something is broken. At this depth, nothing is broken. Pain may occur. Bodies may suffer. Loss may happen. But nothing fundamental is wounded. Joel taught that healing becomes unnecessary when wholeness is no longer questioned. The end of inner orientation. Earlier, you might ask, am I aligned? Am I present? Am I acting from truth? Those questions disappear, not answered, irrelevant. Truth does not need alignment. It is. Time dissolves completely, not as an idea. As a lived fact, moments do not stack. Days do not accumulate. History does not weigh. Life unfolds, then it ends, then it unfolds again. Fresh each time. Real life. Nothing follows you. A man noticed that nothing followed him anymore. Not the day. Not conversations. Not emotions. When something ended, it truly ended. This created profound rest. Why fear cannot survive here? Fear requires a future, a self, something to lose. None remain intact. Fear may flicker biologically, but it cannot root. There is no structure for it to live in. The final fear. Am I disappearing completely? This is the last fear, and it is honest. Because something is disappearing. Not life, not intelligence, not function, but self-reference. And self-reference was never life itself. When it dissolves, what remains is intimate, alive, immediate. Living without any inner story, no story of awakening, no story of progress, no story of arrival, just life expressing. You stop being interested in explaining yourself because nothing needs explanation. What remains? Not awareness, not presence, not I am, those were pointers. What remains has no name. It is not hidden, it is not revealed. It is what has always been happening without commentary. A final pointer, very important. Notice this now. Do not locate awareness. Do not locate silence. Do not locate yourself. Let the moment stand by itself. See how complete it already is. If this part touched something deeper than understanding, like this video so others can find it. Subscribe for teachings that dissolve the last structures, not add new ones. And comment below. Only the source remains.